This is our Forex blog for April 1st, 2016, and it's just an absolutely incredible week. All the hard work I've been doing for the last few years is really starting to pay off now. I'm fixing more and more of my older patterns, and I'm just going to start by showing the stats for each day and then show you what the charts look like for our trading system. Keep in mind this is at the end of the day. Each day I add 5 or 6 new patterns. I also fix sometimes 3 to 5 or even up to 8 older patterns. And that's how I've been doing the stats from day one, so you can compare them from week to week. I'm just going to highlight these so you can see. 749 pips on Friday, 39 trades. Of the 39 trades, 30 were winners. I mean, it's one of the highest winning percentages we've probably had in 3 or 4 months. And the average win is 27 pips. The average loss is only 8. So over 3 times bigger wins than losses on Friday. Here's Thursday. 55 trades, 360 net pips. Average loss 8.2 pips. Average win 14. Not quite as big a win. Not as quite a big a win size because there's a lot of them under 10 pips a day. You know, every day is different. Here's Wednesday. Not as many trades, 41, 427 pips. Average loss, 7.9. And I've said this in most of the past videos. Usually our average loss comes out to around 8. The average win this day was 23, very good. Tuesday, a lot more losers that day. You know, some days the market's just gyrating and a lot of our patterns hit, and you know, a lot of them don't work on some days. But still 514 pips. Even with all these losers, there were 30 losers that day, 6 pips on average, 187 pips of losses. However, you know, the wins were 701 pips. So that's the key to trading. You can see it probably did less than 50% winning that day, but the wins, you know, 94, 94, 81, 45, 30, you know, tons of 30 plus pip wins, and the biggest loss is 12.1 pips. So that's the key to trading. I've said that in when I used to do classes, and it's still true now. Here's Sunday, Monday, 330 pips, very good for a Sunday, Monday. More than 50% winning that day. The average loss is only 5.5 pips, and the average win, mainly because of these huge wins right here, is 24 pips. So now I'm just going to showcase some of the charts, and you can kind of see how the system did. Here's the euro dollar. There's no trades. Earlier in the day, it found this double bottom right here that was good for a huge number of pips. Previous day, small win, you know, 10 pip win. And when you start scrolling back more than 2 days, the statistics aren't accurate, so there's no point in showing a lot of the trades that would have been there aren't now, and it might have some trades that would not have shown up on that day showing up. Here's the pound yen, small little win right here, and huge win. As you can see, it's kind of going sideways, makes a new low. We sell the 50% Fibonacci area, and that's just one that happened to work. You know, a lot of times trades, like you saw, there's a lot of trades that don't work, and there's small losers. Here's another one, good for 50 or 60 pips. Here's one that didn't work. You're in here at 92, stopped out here for about 10 pip loss. But right before that, there was a, you know, 10, 20, 30, 40, or 50 pip win. Here's the pound dollar. Looks like there's a big win here. And you can see a big move down, and it works its way up to what's very likely Fibonacci area. 62% Fibonacci area. And then the market, you know, resumes the trend. And one thing that I haven't really discussed about, but I do use these in our systems. Not only do we use Fibonacci's, but we also use the Fibonacci time extensions. Typically after the 38 or 50% time extension, if it's at one of these fib areas, you know, it's more likely to work. Once it hits the one time extension, it's less likely to work. So that's one of the rules I use. But you don't have to know all of the dozens of advanced methods I use to avoid losses. in order to do well by just waiting for a signal and taking it. You can see here, nice win, followed by the previous one was a loss. The previous two were nice 30 pip wins each. Previous day. And if you can notice on here, most of the trades are not being taken when the market's choppy. I have rules and filters. You know, the market's doing this kind of bullshit. It does not take trades because you're over time you're more likely to lose in this choppy kind of price action. So I don't want to trade at all during these kind of times. And if you notice, most of the trades on the chart, the majority of them are not when the market's just gyrating around. You're going to lose money during that time. So you can see here, loss, loss, but the previous one trade more than made up for these two tiny losses plus a little bit extra. Previous day, loss, loss, small win, bigger win, pretty much break even. You know, so even though that one wasn't a particularly good day for that currency, it probably still broke even. Here's the dollar CAD. Now, I probably, if I were to add another trade this weekend, I would probably, you know, want to put in a trade here that bought, and it would have caught this 40 or 50 or 60 pip move. But, you know, there's not enough time in the day to add every single trade that the system misses. And you can see a small loss here, big win. Here's the dollar Swiss, which I think did well on Friday. Big drop here. Double top right here. Thursday did very well. 3 trades, 3 wins. Win, win, win. You know, it looks like it made about 50 pips in this currency on Wednesday. And one of the things I'm doing is using in keeping stats of each of the particular trades, and I put it in an Excel database, and it lets me, if a particular pattern happens, I can, you know, go and look at all the different details I have for those. In the past, I didn't keep as many information available to me, but I have all kinds of details on every single trade. And so if I see a particular trade pattern failing, I have all the details in tabular format to let me see what basically was going on in the past, what additional rules might be needed that will allow me to keep as many of those past wins as possible while getting rid of hopefully a number of the losses. And that's one of the reasons why, if you're wondering over time how, especially over the next few months, you'll see smaller and smaller number of losses. It's because I'm focusing most of my time. We have almost 4,000 patterns in here now. So I'm spending most of my time trying to fix some of the older ones that aren't performing as well as my newer patterns. You know, my goal for each pattern is it to be at least 60% winning and at least 2 times or 1.5 times bigger win than losses. If it's 50-50 or the wins are about the same size as the losses, I'll try to add additional rules, because with 4,000 patterns I can now afford to be much more picky. You know, we're going to find most of the good trades during the day with the 4,000 patterns, Fibonacci patterns, trend line patterns, trend line breaks, all the support resistance that all the major traders in the world use. There's 26 different categories of trades that I look for that make up those 4,000 patterns. So that's it for today's Forex blog. Hope you, we will probably be releasing a new version this weekend, 5.064. So when you bring up the software, if it tells you there's a new one, click yes and it will automatically update.